Hey everybody, this is Matt Reisinger at Reisinger Homes. Welcome to my video blog on green building and building science. I'm back again with Eric McInerney from Heimseth Architects. Eric, how are you this morning?
Good, and you?
Good, real good. We just finished this project together. This is a client's home in Westlake, a brand new construction. Eric was the project architect on this job with Heimseth, and we wanted to talk to you today about the hot water strategy we utilized in this very high performing house. We did a lot of amazing green building strategies in this house to make sure this house is really as efficient as possible. Things like a conditioned attic space with very high efficiency HVAC system. We've got a great silver galvanum roof upstairs. We've got an over 5 kilowatt solar system going in. But on this video, I want to talk to you about how we decided to use the hot water strategy that we did. So Eric, would you give us a little background on this project when it comes to hot water?
Sure. The house is about 3,200 square feet. It's got 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2 half baths. So kind of 4. And originally we were thinking about doing tankless water heaters because of the efficiency of not having to store the water heater. But given the size of the house and the use of the house, we'd have to have 2. The issue with that is that it becomes a little bit more pricey to get 2 tankless water heaters. Yeah. Also, the water in Austin is pretty hard, so there's a lot of problems with scale. So there's a fair amount of maintenance to having a tankless water heater in this environment. Yep. But the biggest issue is that tankless water heaters, they're really great as long as your usage doesn't use more gallons per minute than it's set to use. When a tankless water heater has more water trying to flow through it, it actually reduces the pressure so that it can heat. Correct. In our situation with this client, they have 2 kids who are about to be teenagers, and of course this bathtub takes a fair amount of water. So the concern is that with tankless water heaters, as the kids started trying to shower at the same time with the dishwasher running or with the tub running, we would start running into issues. Yeah,
capacity issues basically.
So we had to find a different solution for this so that we could get some of the efficiencies. Get some of the efficiencies with of the tankless water heater without going through the downsides of the pressure drop.
So a conventional tank water heater in some respects seemed like a really good choice for this house. Let's say a 50 or 100 gallon tank. If we had a 100 gallon tank, we'd have lots of reserve capacity. The wife could fill up this very large tub and there'd still be some reserve. But there's a couple issues. You know, a standard gas water heater is not a particularly efficient product. So what we decided to use was an A.O. Smith Vertex. We'll show you that in a minute, but it's a 50-gallon tank that's very, very efficient, 96% efficient. And it's also a little bit of a hybrid system where this unit is a 100,000 BTU input. A tankless water heater is about 200,000 BTUs. A standard water heater, a standard 50-gallon tank that you might have in your house, they're typically about 40,000 BTUs. So this has double the horsepower, so to speak, for the ability to heat water. And in fact, this one delivers over 150 gallons of hot water in the first hour. It's basically able to run 1 shower head continuous, just like a tankless water heater. Now we still have the issue of just using one, and how do we distribute this into a house that's over 3,000 square feet, where we're spread out. We're in the master bedroom now. The kitchen is on the other side of the house. We're actually the furthest location, hot water-wise, from that tankless water heater, or pardon me, from that tank water heater, and we didn't want to dump a bunch of cold water down the drain as we're waiting for hot. So what we did on this house was we used a Metlin demand pump. This is a great system where this pump, we've got a little momentary contact switch. I'll hit it right here. I don't know if you can hear it running in the video. It's really silent. I have one at my house. I love it. What it's doing is it's just cycling the hot water from the hot water line, dumping it back into the cold water line. So now instead of dumping all that hot water down the drain as we're waiting for it to get hot and it's, you know, lukewarm, let's say, we're cycling that back into our system. There's no loss whatsoever. And in about 30 to 60 seconds, that pump is going to turn off. It's got a thermocouple in there that's going to go, hey, it's 120 degrees, let's shut off. And now when this client turns on this faucet or turns on the shower, they've got hot water in just a few seconds, maybe 5 or 10 seconds. rather than waiting a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on how far that fixture is.
And one other thing that we did in working with this is that the hot water is actually, all of the pieces are piped off of a main trunk line that's well insulated. So we have one line coming down the house branching off to all the other pieces. So this is the end line.
Exactly.
So this button will run this punch. There are actually the possibility of other buttons at the other bathroom, so that the boys' bathroom is directly above us could also have a button to run this pump, bring the hot water down the pipe.
Yep.
And so you do have a momentary blip of cool water because you have the amount of pipe from the trunk line to you.
The branch, so to speak.
The branch line. But as soon as you get past that little bit of water, you get hot water almost immediately.
It's really a good system. Eric, why don't we run into the garage or walk over to the garage and we'll show everybody what that Vertex looks like. Okay, so now we're in the garage. We're actually a closet off of the garage. I don't know if you can see, but we're spray foamed in this closet. This is part of the air-conditioned space of the house. It's one of the beauties of this system. This A.O. Smith Vertex is what they call a power direct vent unit, meaning it's got sealed combustion inside this tank, and we're using PVC for both combustion air and venting air. So basically one PVC pipe is bringing in the air that it's going to burn, and then another PVC pipe going to the outside is bringing the exhaust air to the outside. There's no carbon monoxide issues. There's no air-to-air exchange between the house air and this tank. It's very efficient because it's using a condensing spiral exhaust system. So as the exhaust burns through and comes up through the exhaust pipe, it's condensing that water, and this tank is actually 96% efficient. So for every dollar in gas we're using, we're getting 96% of that back into hot water in this house. Compare that to a tankless water heater. The one in my house is 80% efficient. So this is even more efficient in some respects than a tankless water heater. And having that 50 gallons of reserve really makes a big difference. Two other things I wanted to tell you was, if you're using a unit like this, you need to remember that you need to plan for a condensate line. We weren't in a position here where we could do a floor drain, so we've got a condensate pump pumping to the outside. What was the other thing I was going to say? In terms of maintenance, one nice thing about this compared to a tankless water heater is maintenance is really easy. Every 1 to 2 years, the only thing you should do on these is probably drain the tank out, so any sediment at the bottom of the tank gets evacuated. Very, very good unit. I think these clients have liked it so far. They've just moved in recently. I think this is going to be a very long-lasting and very high-efficient solution. Eric, any last comments on this system?
No, but just note up here that the pipes are all well insulated.
Mm-hmm.
The big tank up there is the hammer arrestor.
Yep.
And
Expansion tank.
Other than that, it's pretty much what you're used to in terms of a tank, in terms of what you're going to have in your house. Big tanks. It's extra well insulated, and it performs seamlessly.
Yeah, I think it's a great solution for a very high performance home like this, and it really solves a lot of our needs for this client. Eric, great job on the design and the green building technical side of the house. It was a lot of fun to build.
Yeah, thanks for all your work.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.